What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CBBassin. I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful holiday season right now. I had an amazing Thanksgiving. My son came down to visit, got to spend some time with him, got to spend some time with family, and even got to see and spend some time with some friends I haven't seen in a long time. So it was a great Thanksgiving for me. Looking forward to a great Christmas. Headed up to Illinois to go see my son. Looking for a great end of the year also for me. Hope you got all your shopping done. There was some amazing deals this year on fishing stuff on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Hope you got yourself some goodies and maybe bought some goodies for someone else. Today we're going to discuss three tournaments. And go over how I failed on them. But first, I want to ask you guys, do you like this wide angle here? You can pretty much see the entire studio. You can even see all of my shadow box right there. Now this is pretty much the framing that we had on the other videos. And that's all the way in. And I'm not going to do that to you guys. I am certain that nobody wants to see this face this close. So I'm going to bump it back out to wide angle. Shut up. So what do you guys think of this angle here, of this wide of a view? Do you like it or not? Like I said, we're going to discuss 3 tournaments today. The last 4 tournaments of the year were horrible. Horrible fishing for me anyway. The last tournament of the year, the very last one, I said shush. The very last tournament of the year, while it was tough day on the water, ended up with a little twist in there. A little surprise. So we're not going to cover that one on this video. We're going to have its own video for that one. But for today, we're going to cover the Bayou Lacombe from September 18th. I'm sorry, the Bayou Bonfuka from September 18th. Bayou Lacombe from October 2nd. And the East Pearl from October 16th. I feel like one of them news anchors. This just in. Chris sucks. All right, Bayou Bonfuka. I covered the entire Bonfuka and Liberty area. I went through Bayou Paquet. I fished all the marsh because it was a falling tide. Nothing was happening. The only thing I got going was I went to the mouth of Palm Lake Bayou, the typical, community hole. Was throwing a Carolina rig and noticed a fish chasing a shad. So reeled it in, threw the choke bug, caught that fish. There he is. There he is. Barely hooked, back hook. Going for it. Yes. Good fish. Hey, I was like, if y'all remember the last video from Lock 1, I was like, hey, this might be something changing. This is exactly how Lock 1 started. Yeah, nothing changed. There was no changes to be had. Ended up with only one fish in that tournament. We launched out of Heritage Park. So I stayed there waiting for some fish to try to see if they would come schooling again. And they never did. While I was there, I threw everything I had at them. Nothing would bite. So I left there to go through that long no-wake zone, that stupid long no-wake zone, to head towards the launch. And I stopped at Port of Slidell, right where the big long dock sticks out into the bay. And I was chunking a Series 5 down the edge of that dock. And I was turning the boat to leave, reeling in real fast, and then all of a sudden, bam, something hit.
Oh,
and
dang,
the drag was
fish.
pulling, and I couldn't get the button
he come off
fast enough, and ended up just pulling the lure out of his mouth.
What that was.
Don't know what it was. It was something massive. I'm hoping it was just a big catfish and not a giant bass. After that, I went to the Bayou Liberty Road Bridge and started fishing under it. And I got one little slap on a chug bug, and he wouldn't hit it again. So I grabbed. Now this is how bad of a day it had gotten. I had already rigged up on one of my spinning rods a speed worm with the tail cut off and one of those little blades screwed into it. It's like a staple for when things are going bad. Almost every bass fisherman out there does that to try to get a couple bites. Threw it out there and bam, got that little fish. Now when I say little, like if I was to call this fish a dink, that's an insult to dinks.
Seriously? You can't be what hit the chuck bug. You can't be what hit that chuck bug.
He was small. But then I went across the bayou to the other side of the bridge and caught another fish on a chug bug.
That don't look like bass. Oh no. That's a bass. Alright, we got another one.
And while this fish actually qualified to be a dink, he did not measure to weigh in, so he wasn't a keeper.
All right. Thank you, bud.
Ended up with that one fish, 2 pounds and 4 ounces, and got 5th place with that one fish. So tough day on the water, but not so tough of a day in the tournament. All right, Bayou Lacombe. A couple days before this tournament, I'd found some fish where Palm Lake Bayou dumps into Palm Lake. Now, I was throwing a Carolina rig out there, and I got like 4 bites in like 10 minutes. So I pulled it from all of them, didn't set the hook, and I left. I said, all right, I'm coming here for the tournament. So after blast off, I ran all the way to Palm Lake Bayou, ran back to that spot. Nothing would bite. I threw the same Carolina rig I was using. I threw different Carolina rigs. I threw everything I had. Nothing would bite. However, the wind was perfect. The wind was blowing across Palm Lake into that bayou, and that's always sets up for good situation. So I started throwing a chug bug along that rock bank on the right by the house, and then also along that point that had a bulkhead on it. Got a little hit on that point, threw back there, and he nailed it the second time. And it was a good fish.
He hit it. There he is. There he is. Ooh, that feels like a decent fish. Oh, that is a decent fish. Don't you come on, baby. Don't come off. Oh, you barely hooked. Barely hooked. Yeah, you're right.
Got him in a boat and got one keeper now. Now I'm thinking, hoping things are about to change. Again, no changes were to be had. I caught one more fish on a spinnerbait. I slow rolled a spinnerbait across that point and caught a little dink. Wasn't a keeper. The spinnerbait was a white and chartreuse with 2 Colorado blades, 1 gold, 1 silver. And the chug bug was a baby bass color. I had to leave about 11 o'clock because I had to idle out of Palm Lake Bayou. And then also, Bayou Lacombe has some stupid long the wake zones. That one fish weighed 214 and was enough to get me 4th place. So again, bad day on the water, but not so bad of a day in the tournament. Now for East Pearl. The East Pearl tournament. It was super foggy that morning. In fact, I blasted everybody off. I went about 2 miles down the river and I pulled to the side. I was like, man, look, I got a kid. I got responsibilities. I can't be doing this. So I started fishing down the bank to let the fog burn off. Once it cleared up, I headed on down to the southern end of the river because it was a nice falling tide. So I went to this little bayou that I usually fish. And it's not a great bayou. It's not a bayou that I've set the world on fire, but at least catch some fish usually. So I went up in there, nice falling tide, thinking I was going to at least catch a couple little fish. I caught one fish on a black and blue crawl Texas rig.
That's a hit.
Cast it into the middle of a turn, right in a little hole.
And I think you still got it. Yep. Right out in the middle. Had it forever and he barely has it.
And that was it. That was the only fish I caught all day. Now, on that tournament, it was a lot better of a day for everybody else. I ended up 12th place with that one fish. It was a 113. Got 12th place. Let's see. I don't think I mentioned this on the other ones. First place went to Sam Jenkins with an 8-pound, 11-ounce limit for the East Pearl. Bayou Bonfuca's first place was Jimmy Doris with a 8-pound, 9-ounce limit. And Bayou Lacombe, first place was Eric Seco with 6 pounds and 5 ounces and 4 fish. So congratulations to those guys. Like I said, I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday season. I hope you're having a great time. Let me know what you guys think about this wide angle here. Or do you think I need to push it back in a little more like it was before? Really appreciate you guys watching the videos. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It'll really help me out. Hit that thumbs up. And until next time, y'all be careful on the water or in the stores because it is getting nuts right now. If I don't see y'all again until then, Merry Christmas, and I'll see y'all next time.